Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Matt with Green Bar Trading. So how did I make over $500 in one trade? Less than 15 minutes of market hold time. So I'm going to get into that and I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks that enabled me to identify those hot sectors in the market and then take advantage of an underlying stock, an underlying equity in that sector to make a very good trade here. A trade that was 125% gainer to 300% gainer that we took in profit. So it all starts with our weekend due diligence. So this is our weekend preview, our studying. This was in my weekly watch list video, our stock market 2020 outlook video. That was all into this. Now, something that I add for members that are in our Discord is our ETFs of the morning. So those morning sectors that we can see that are catching a bid, right? So that happened here on Monday. We saw the energy and we saw the financials as our top gappers, our top gainers before the market even opened up. So showing strength in the energy market and showing strength in the financial sector. So once we identified the top sectors to trade, well, then I go over to what I post on our Sunday picks. So that was posted on, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Citibank. This was the stock that I traded. We noticed a very clear bounce here off of the year low. And then we wanted to see if there was going to be continuation. So just fast forwarding a bit, that continuation happened right here with this beautiful green candle that happened on Monday. So the day after we posted that trade plan, the very next day with the hot sector, this absolutely ripped about 6%, which is a huge move for a bank stock. So when that happens, that's on Monday. I am looking now, where do I get involved with a trade like that? So if we look at my call buys, right? 10 contracts that I bought on Monday afternoon. So seeing that huge spike, and I'll bring up the charts in a second, I set alerts to not buy at the high, but wait until Citibank, sold off a little bit, hit my alerts, and then I could get in here, 9 minutes or so before the end of the trading day. So at great prices, 30 cents, 10 contracts. That's a $300 trade, a $300 total trade. So you could have done this with an extremely small account. That's $300 to make $528 of profit. So that is a very, very nice risk to reward. So, and I'm going to show you guys the chart here, but I just want to show you guys how I scale out the very next morning. Like you see here, 49 seconds into the open on Tuesday, that's when I start scaling out. 70 cents, 93 cents, 94, 98, 100, or $1. And that's what a scale out looks like. So we traded that really, really well. And looking at what I noticed is a very hot sector. This is the XLF. If you don't already have it on a watch list, add ETFs to your watch list. That way you can see the hot sectors of the morning. So this video I'm making the next day, today's Wednesday, you can see here that the gold ETF is, pretty decent here. Biotech, you have energy again leading the pack. Now, when we made our market outlook video, we called energy, healthcare, and banks were going to be, or should be, pretty good trades for this year when they're going to be raising interest rates, and a year that inflation may be of great concern. So looking at the XLF, this is on the 10-day. You can see here we're grinding up, and then on Monday we start to pop on heavier volume, and then Tuesday you can see, the day that I got out of my contracts, even heavier volume. Look at that beautiful push up. Now, if we want to look at the stock that I traded, it's right here. So after the new year, all the traders are coming back. And if you ever want to know where they're putting their money, it's very simple to tell. Look at this volume right here in the banks. So this is Citibank in particular. But if you look at every bank, it looks like this. This is where the big institutions are putting their money. On Monday, I noticed this. That's why on Monday, I want to get involved for that trade that I just showed you guys. So if we look at it here, I'm going to go in to show you the P&L. That was $523 in profit on Citibank. That is from a $300 trade, and we made almost double that. So like I said, could be done on a very small account. Now, this is Citibank, like I said on Monday. What I was waiting for, and I'm going to look at this on the 1 minute now, 3-day 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, I was waiting for a bit of a pullback. So I set my alerts here at about 63.20. I set my alerts, and I ended up getting it right here at about 63.08 is when I bought the 10 call contracts. So I waited a bit from the highs here. Very clear level. It was rejecting at. We got the sell off, and that's where I got involved. So instead of chasing something, sometimes you have to be a little patient. Now, going into the day that I took the contracts off on Tuesday, we saw in the morning the ETF, the financial ETF, was still outperforming. The treasury yields were still going up. Everything was looking good about this trade. I took off my contracts right here at the top. So a very good time to have unloaded all of my contracts. Because even if I would have waited, a couple of hours or even an hour and a half, those contracts start to burn theta. So time is money, especially the fact that I took this as a quick, knowing I was going to be out in the next day. I only took 4 days till expiration. So this wasn't something I wanted to hold for long. And it looks like we came right back down to what was resistance, then turns into support. So that's around where we are now. This is still very much in play. The financial sector is still very much in play going forward. But that was the quick trade that I did here. Now, the tip, the trick is to watch those sectors just in the morning. Have on the watch list your ETFs, know what the hot sector is, and know what is catching bids, what's looking good. And, looking at the volume profile, like I had showed you guys on Citibank, I mean, that is very blatantly obvious who is putting all their money in. And when big institutions put a lot of money in, most likely they're putting it in because there's going to be continuation for this stock to go higher. And looking at it on a yearly chart, you can see here, this is the bounce that we were talking about. I mean, if you want to go back to all-time highs on this stock right here, I mean, you have almost a 40% return if it gets back to highs. Even if it gets back to previous resistance here at about 67s, you're still looking at a decent gain. So we'll see what happens here. And, that's the trade. That's what my thought process was. That's what I go into trying to trade those hot sectors, especially this year is imperative. It's going to be one of those stock pickers markets. We're already seeing selling going on in the NASDAQ. So those high valuation stocks are being sold off. The rotation is going back into, those value stocks that are actually making money and trading at low PEs and very low times to book value. So that's the trade. That's how we made over $500, almost 200% in total. Some of the contracts being sold out of those 10 scaled out at over 300%. A very, very nice trade. And like I said, that could have been done on a small account. $300 to make over 500. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're ever looking to trade something like that, you could get some cheap contracts and you're in a hot sector. And that's all the stuff that I noticed. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up for me, and I will see you back on the next one. Take care, guys.